Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be collaborating with some friends of mine, some team members, and we are working our way through the templates on page 28 of the annual catalog. And today we're going to work on this very last sketch right here. So we'll all be giving our take on this sketch, and they will be in a playlist that I will have listed in the description box at the end of this video. But for this sketch, I'm going to be using the Tru Blue Florals, which is the product of the month for December. And you can add this to your cart for $5 once your order total reaches $75. Then you can add this along with your order for $5. So the photos I want to use today are of where we went out looking at some Christmas lights. We have a college here in town, and they put all these lights out and light up their campus, and they were just gorgeous. So I have a picture of my son and his dog, and then this is my son, my other son and his wife, and my little granddaughter. And then I got a picture of her just walking down by the lights. I thought that was cute. But these lights just have a kind of blue glow to them when they're all lit, and it was just gorgeous out there. So I thought these would look great on this paper right here. So let's get this cleared off of here, and we will see if we can get some of this put down on paper. All right, I'm going to bring in just some plain white here, and this will be all covered up. So what I think I want to do, I'm going to bring my papers back in. If you notice on the sketch, it only has spaces for 2 photos, but I am going to use 3. I had this extra photo of her standing by the lights, and I wanted to include that. So I'm going to use 3 photos on my layout today. And I think I am wanting to use these 2 papers right here. I love this paper right here with all the sprigs on it. And that lighter background, the lighter blue background, I really like with the lights here. So I think we're going to lay these down and use for our background. And I'm thinking I want to keep this darker paper, just a small piece on the side, and then have mostly this paper here. And then we will use, I have some white and vellum cut out to add with our embellishments. So let me get these papers cut down, and then we'll move on. Okay, I've cut those papers down. I cut the dark paper down, a 1.5 inch by 12 inch strip, and then that left the larger side at 10.5 by 12. Now I do want to put a little something here to cover this transition. That way we don't have 2 pattern papers, and I had just some silver paper that I think would look good. So we're going to add the silver right in between to give that transition between those pattern papers. So I just cut that about a 1/2 inch by 12, and we'll tuck it under just a little bit, so that gives us just a little small strip to make our transition. Then I'm going to bring my photos back in. I have matted these on white, and I think that's probably the only matte I'm going to put on them. With this color background, that white stands off just a little bit. It does have these white sprigs, but I don't think that's going to, I think that my photos will stand off pretty well. So I was thinking of doing something like this. I wanted to overlap this one just a tad with those. So we will do something like this. and then we will build our cluster here, and I believe we can make our banner title here, and then that'll leave us this spot here for our journaling. So let's go ahead and bring in some of those die cuts. I'm going to be using some of the sprigs from Golden Greenery. I have cut out, I have used this die and this die right over here, and I ended up cutting those out of some white and some vellum. And then the fern sprigs, these two here, I have cut out of some Secret Sea paper. So we're going to see if we can make us a little cluster back here. I didn't want to change up the tones too much. Secret Sea is not in this. This is Night of Navy, but it was the closest that I had. So we're going to see what we can do with that. I believe we're going to start on, I cut out a circle from Spotlight on Nature, and I did cut it out of a scrap, so it had a little piece out of it, but we're going to go ahead and slide that right under there. And I think I'm going to pop this photo right here up on some foam tape. So we will get some foam tape on there in just a moment. Let me see what we want to put down on. I'm going to go ahead and bring my tray in here. I believe I'm going to start with these since they're the biggest. It is some white on white right there, but I believe once we get all the other in, it will look just fine. So we're going to bring in some of these vellum sprigs, some of the white, and then we're going to slide some of these Secret Sea pieces right behind, and that should help that stand off of that white circle. Go ahead and stick 2 or 3 of these in. We want to build this one up pretty good. This is going to serve as our main embellishment cluster. So I believe I'm going to stick another. Now, I did stick all of those under, but for a piece to go on top, I'm going to bring out, we have the light here, and I have this Light the Year, and it has these lanterns in it, and I do have one of those already cut. So I believe we're going to add that little lantern right on the top on the corner. That's going to be our piece to set on top of the photo there. I think we're going to give the lantern just a little glow so that it looks lit. I have Darling Duckling, and I'm going to give it just a very light touch, piece to, we just want it to look like it's kind of glowing with some light. All right. I believe that's probably good. So that will match our little light we have in the paper here. All right. I went ahead and added some sprigs on this side just to make it look a little more full. That is all just sitting there. Let's work on our title. For our title, I am going to bring in, it's actually a Halloween, but I'm going to use this Good Times. The stamp says Wickedly Good Times, but I'm going to mask off the word wickedly, and we're just going, our title is going to be just Good Times. So let me pull out, I'm going to stamp this in some Secret Sea, and then we're going to cut it into a banner, and that's going to serve as our banner piece here. and then our little cluster down here. And then for our journaling, I'm moving the journaling over to here. So let's go ahead and stamp this out. I thought I would go ahead and stamp this on camera with you. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, and then we will cover up that word wickedly so that we end up with just the word good times. All right, I have some washi tape here, and we're just going to tear off a little strip of this washi tape. And we're going to put that right over the word wickedly. That should allow our word good times to come off all by itself. So we're going to cover that up, and then we're going to ink it up. Get that nice and inked up. And then we'll go ahead and take this off while we stamp. And I think I didn't hardly get enough ink on that bottom part there. All right, so now we're going to just put down the word good times. Hold it down, let that ink soak in for a minute. And there we go. And that looks really good. So we're going to get that made into a banner. All right, we'll get these ends dovetailed. We're just going to snip up in the center and then snip from each side. Make our little dovetail. Trim this side down just a little bit. And our dovetail. And that is going to be our title. Good times. When we was out here walking around, she was having so much fun, and she was just running and playing, and she was having a really good time. So good times is a fitting title. I'm going to go ahead and add some little sprigs here. Add a couple on each end. Sometimes dry fitting these little sprigs is very tedious. So I will go ahead and get those fixed up off camera because they're going to move around a lot. And I will get everything glued down, and we'll be right back. All right, I have all of those layers adhered down. I have my title adhered down. I did pop it up on foam tape. I popped this picture up on foam tape. And then the lamp, I put just regular sticky on the top, and I put one foam tape under there just to kind of make it even with that picture. So to finish it off, I found these little silver sparkly gems. These were not in a package, so I do not know if they are Stampin' Up or not. They could be from Hobby Lobby, but I wanted to add just a little bit of sparkle. I like a little bit of sparkle, so I'm going to add some of these little sparkle gems. just around my clusters. Alright, we've got 3 different sizes here. We'll go ahead and add all 3 sizes. I'm going to put a set around my title. Alright. There we go. And then I did go ahead and save this space. And I believe I will do a little vellum. I have this little piece of vellum left. I think I'll print my journaling on that vellum, and then I'll trim it down and put my journaling right there. So I'll just save that until I get that done. I'll go ahead and bring this up close and let you see some of that sparkle and shine. I really like the little vellum pieces on there. And there you can see my title popped up just a little bit. You can see that photo right there popped up. And then there's those gems for the bottom. I really like how this turned out. And we did stay pretty close to the sketch. I did add the photo, but we have our banner piece and our cluster here. I am going to move the journaling over and added 1 picture. That was the changes I made to there. But if you like this video, if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe so you'll know when I put out more videos. And don't forget about the product of the month and go check that out. And until next time, have a great day. We'll see you again on YouTube.